This hour by Frederick Remington, fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. Exclusive, no refrigeration, 10-year extended shelf life bacon. The thickest, meatiest, center-cut bacon in the industry at fullycookedbacon.com.
The stocks discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering on acting on information, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice.
What kingdom has sent you?
The kingdom of the Most High.
Nothing you have ever experienced can prepare you for the unbridled carnage you're about to witness. The Super Bowl, the World Series, they don't know what pressure is. In this building, it's either kill or be killed. They make no friends in the pits and you take no prisoners. 1 minute you're up $500,000 in soybeans and the next, boom, your kids don't go to college and they've repossessed your Bentley. Are you with me?
The Genesis Communication Network is proud to bring you Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week elf, Mark Leibovit, welcoming you on board his financial time machine. And here is the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, January 27th. This is our fourth broadcast for 2018, and the days and weeks to move forward here quickly, particularly with the Dow Industrials, S&P, NASDAQ all pushing into new record highs. Where is that correction? We're all looking for that correction. It doesn't seem to unfold. For myself, I joke a little bit, but Groundhog Day is coming up February 2nd, and over the years there's been a tendency for a little bit of a pullback either 2 weeks prior or 2 weeks after that event. So, pushing into February or even late January as we now sit, there is that risk of a little bit of a retracement. Just a cyclical event. To look back at the charts, doesn't happen every year, but something to keep in mind. Certainly with the altitude the market's at, any bad news of any kind, I suppose, could create a little bit of a shakeout. We had a little bit of a key reversal pattern intra-week in the indexes, and then the market immediately rebounded back. So when I say key reversal, higher high, lower low, some expanding volume, looked like that might have been a little bit of a short-term top. So, picking the top is dangerous if you're going short. Obviously, if you're waiting to buy the market and it doesn't conform to your expectations, you continue to miss this up move. Overall, it appears, the S&P could be headed toward 3,000 in the months ahead, and the Dow, next big target is up there around 28,000. So whether we get a nice 100, 200-point shake in the S&P or a nice 500 to 1,000-point shake in the Dow along the way, that only time will tell. But I do expect to see, more volatility, as the days and weeks unfold and as we go higher and higher here. Interesting, we've seen the VIX index, the UVXY, which is the stock you could track, which is sort of a ETF, I suppose. It's I'm looking it up right now. It's a multiple of the index itself. The index itself has been creeping up here, the VIX, a little bit, and not dramatically, but 20, 30 cents a day here over the last few days. So that's indicating, at least to some traders, that there might be some volatility ahead for the market. The UVXY is the ProShares Ultra VIX short, so that's double or triple the VIX, so a little bit of a speculative play there, but a lot of traders are looking at that. It's trading around the $9.90, $10 area, but I'm not trading it at the moment. It's just something we keep an eye on as a sign of investor nervousness or anticipation. Could be just a hedge, I suppose, as the market goes higher. As you know, money managers do try to hedge their positions accordingly. It was an interesting week watching gold move higher into the 1360s. And, the big key here is we're going to take out the big high, the 1372.75 high that we saw last summer. That would help confirm the intermediate uptrend, potentially toward next 1400. Some are saying even 1500 is a possibility. Much of course, a lot of this is tied to the recent weakness in the dollar. I don't necessarily subscribe to that. I've seen the dollar and gold move in the same direction over the years, so you like to look at each market independently, and I think that's really what's happening. Well, I have my good friend Don VIALOUX, who is very kind to join us every week, and he's on the line from Toronto. Don is the purveyor of the great, actually 2 websites, timingthemarket.ca. I'm sorry, Don, timingthemarket.ca and equityclock.com, and he's also the past president of the Canadian Society of Technical Analysts. Thank you, Don, for squeezing in a couple minutes for us this Saturday.
Thanks for having me back, Mark.
Just talking about the metals, and I know you want to talk about that too. Another good week, gold on the run here.
Yeah, another big move by precious metals. Gold broke into an 18-month high. Platinum reached a 10-month high. It's just a season for precious metal prices to move higher to the end of February. But it's not just gold and silver and precious metals. The CRB index itself actually broke to a 3.5-year high, completing a nice base building pattern. So it looks like commodities in general are moving higher.
I noticed in your morning report you had mentioned one of the agricultural ETFs also moving.
Yes, soil, SOIL, that's a basket of agriculture, of fertilizer stocks. It just broke to an all-time high just on Friday, so that sector continues to look very, very strong. Again, it's related to higher commodity prices.
So do you think the weakness in the U.S. dollar is really the key factor here, or is it just a worldwide expansion in commodities?
The U.S. dollar weakness is certainly a major factor. Last week we saw the U.S. dollar index drop to a 3-year low. As U.S. dollar declines, that has a direct impact on commodity prices, pushing them higher.
We didn't touch on crude oil. Let's talk about that for a moment. Continues to push higher as well.
Yeah, another one of these commodities, which is in the right spot, continues to go stronger. Crude oil on a seasonal basis usually moves higher right through until April of each year.
Okay. So despite the strength in U.S. equities, it appears some Canadian equities are struggling. What's going on there?
Yeah, the TSE composite index peaked at the beginning of January, and basically it's been going sideways since that time. And on Thursday of this week, it completed a double top pattern. That's not good for the Canadian equities. Contributing to weakness in strength is strength in the Canadian dollar and troubling NAFTA negotiations.
How do you think those negotiations are going to go? Any read on that whatsoever?
Both sides are, shall we say, trying to state their case, and that's typical during the negotiation stage. So far, negotiations have not gone well, based on comments in the Canadian media. We have one more round to go, and I guess we'll get a decision on NAFTA after that. But for now, that's having a concern here in Canada, and it's having a direct negative impact on the Canadian equity market.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So we've got you got oil and you've got gold, and well, the whole commodity sector is strong. That usually bodes well for the more for the TSX venture than for the TSX itself. Correct?
You would think so, but what's offsetting the strength in commodity prices is strength in the Canadian dollar. One is offsetting the other, and therefore a net impact is that Canadian stocks have not gone up, while U.S. stocks have gone up quite nicely.
Okay, so I don't always ask you this, but did you have any particular one stock pick or two picks you would pass on to our listeners this coming week based on what you're seeing?
We've mentioned before that the oil service sector looks particularly interesting. We see more rigs being used in the United States and a big increase in a number of rigs being used here in Canada. That sector on a technical basis looks very, very interesting. It recently completed a reverse head and shoulders pattern, and anything in that sector seems to be wanting to move higher. So with higher oil prices and greater drilling activity, that means higher oil service stocks.
Thank you for joining us. Don VIALOUX from equityclock.com. And don't touch your dial, folks. We'll be back right after the break.
You're listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
hunters, anglers, campers, and survivalists. Get back to nature. Expand your horizons with the highest quality, most versatile, unique slingshots and sling bows on the market at slingbow.com. Slingbow products are compact and models start from just $17.98. They're perfect for your bug-out bag or storing in your vehicle. Give yourself and your loved ones the excitement and tradition of Slingbow, a new frontier in archery and truly modern twist on this primitive survival tool. Feel the thrill only at slingbow.com.
This is Elizabeth McCabe, a.k.a. Lucky One of Truth Frequency News. I wanted to tell you all about Extendivite from HeartDrop.com. Y'all know I check everything before I air it. When I heard about Extendivite on TFR, I went to HeartDrop.com and started my research. It's got cayenne. That's good for blood and circulation. It stimulates the blood flow. It's got garlic, which fights bacteria like antibiotics, and it lowers the cholesterol and blood pressure. It also has milk thistle, which is the best detox for liver. I couldn't wait to try it out, and I'm glad I did 4 months ago. And here's the obvious results. My hands and feet don't get cold anymore. The varicose veins have faded too. My wrists don't hurt after typing all day. Now I tell you all this because it's true and I want you to really live life. Try Extendivite. Go to heartdrop.com and order it.
Extendivite is only $69.95 for a 2-month supply of either capsules or liquid. Call now. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendivite.
Every industry faces distinguishing challenges and circumstances that shape the business and financial landscape. Camuso CPA LLC delivers unrivaled depth of knowledge and an engaging experience relevant to each client's industry-specific needs. Camuso offers preemptive guidance and knowledge required to achieve your greatest business and personal financial potential. Our approach is based on forging long-term business relationships accompanied by trust and value, creating an ever-important partnership. Build your dedicated financial team with us today. Visit CamusoCPA.com. That's CamusoCPA.com.
Fully cooked, ready-to-eat bacon. I'm talking thick, meaty, center-cut, presidential bacon. Savory and delicious. I buy some, I use some, I store some. Awesome. No refrigeration needed with a 10-year shelf life. NASA pack technology. Bacon. Fully cooked, fully hydrated, ready to eat right from the packed bacon. Or warm and served. Life-saving, ready-to-eat bacon. 10-year shelf life bacon. Ships free at fullycookedbacon.com. Fullycookedbacon.com.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
Water is the single most important thing your body needs, so you want to be sure it's the best for you and your family. Since 2005, thousands have depended on Berkey purified water. The Berkey Guy provides the lowest priced filtration systems in every size for incredibly delicious water now and in an emergency. Get to GoBerkey.com or call 877-886-3653. 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com.
Keep the change. Think big. Think positive. Never show any sign of weakness. Always go for the throat. Buy low, sell high. Fear, that's the other guy's problem.
Welcome back to the Wall Street Raw Radio Show with Mark Leibovit, your time machine for the financial markets. Want to know more? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Now, here's the elf himself, Mark Leibovit.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this fine Saturday, January 27th, our fourth broadcast of 2018. And I have my good friend Harry Boxer on the line. Harry Boxer publishes the techtrader.com, which, as you may recall from our previous interviews, is a live trading room featuring his trade alerts. And Harry, good morning. I just off air, you mentioned an interesting development here intraday. Of course, we're taping this on Friday. Wynn Resorts is down on a story about Steve Wynn. Let's hear about it.
Well, I mean, he's just another one bites the dust, accused of sexual misconduct. Anyway,
I'm looking at the chart. There's a big gap around 179. The stock's trading around 190. Maybe this is an opportunity if it fills that gap. Maybe this is we're patient. We wait for that gap to be filled.
I know the drop. He put 200 to 185.5 and bounced to 191, and I'm not interested. But there's a lot of other stocks that I have put out a swing trade that are just doing great, so we're following that. And biotechs across the board are just phenomenal. When I put out my 25 charts of the year, I think it was actually 26 this year. 16 of the 26 is biotech. That's how much I think of that group.
Okay, and LABU is on the top of your list there, isn't it?
Well, LABU is if you don't want to trade an individual stock, I've been telling people at LABU once it broke out above 78, was it probably a move going to had a target of 90 and 110. Guess what it hit today? 112.58.
Wow.
As recently as December, it was 62 at December 6th. So, and in 6 weeks, 62 to 112 just in the last 6 weeks, 5 weeks.
And one of my favorites, and I think one you've talked about as well, Gilead is up over 3 points on Friday as well.
There's an awful lot of ones. I had some big winners. Nectar was one of the biggest trades of the year for us. We got it on the breakout in November at 25.5, and it recently hit 80 today. 81.41. Pretty nice move. We have a lot of biotechs that look good.
Okay. One of our favorite groups, the cannabis stocks, have been undergoing a little bit of a correction here. What do you see in a couple of our big favorites like Canopy Growth and Aurora? What's going on there?
Well, they're still in the confines of what I consider rising channels. When you draw a parallel line off the tops and bottoms, you get into the channel bottom. Yesterday and today, both times it held near 25. It's reversed 3 points today. It's looking like it's forming a big wave again. And one more wave up. I kid you not when I say if there's one more big wave in each stock, if it goes to 35, you go to 50, 55. How's that?
Wow.
Not kidding. Okay. ACBFF, Aurora, is also about to maybe exit the fourth wave and run up into the high teens to 1920 range. It's turning its things. They could both double from here quickly.
I know. We got the big Canadian recreational story coming out in July, unless for some reason that gets delayed. And we really don't care so much what happens here in the U.S. since these are Canadian plays. But, yeah, very, very dynamic trading opportunities, and you've been great in keeping us posted on those. What about the gold market? New relative high is really on the move here.
Yeah, they had a pretty big pullback. If you notice the JNUG in particular, that's the triple ETF for gold. That ran right to the September-October highs and pulled back, and we got a massive inverse heavy shoulder effect forming on that pattern. If this gets through, the JNUG in particular, gets to 20.5, we're looking at 23, 26, and then 30, 32. And there's a lot of potential of a turnaround in the gold here.
I know all the bulls are saying now that we've broken out, we can test that 1,400 area or even higher in the months ahead. So let's see. Much has to do with what's going on in the U.S. dollar. Do you have any read on the U.S. dollar chart?
No, I don't even look at it.
You don't even look at it?
It's not of any interest to me whatsoever.
Okay. Yeah, I generally track that UUP, which is that ETF for the dollar. So we have a couple of minutes here. Henry,
the only thing I want to say about the market is they continue to trend higher. Even after 5 waves up and a fifth of a fifth on an Elliott wave, 5 waves up in the fifth wave is about as much as you can get, and yet we're breaking out again. This time, however, I'm looking at this today, and I want you to be aware of this. 1,384 up, 1,437 down. There's more stocks down than up, with the Dow up 90 and the S&P up 15. That augurs very poorly for this market. Even on NASDAQ, which is up 51 on NASDAQ 100, there's only 1440 up and 1381 down. Very, very narrow. The McClellan oscillator just went into minus territory. Everybody thinks the market's overbought. The oscillator is not even in plus territory. That is a very, what I would call, it's just a very cautious thing to keep aware of.
So is oversold, ready to push higher, or is it at the top of the band?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that with the market at these levels, without the rest confirming it, it's very dangerous up here, and we might be in a distribution phase that when it does roll over, we could see 5, 8, 10% down. And so I'm telling everybody to be cautious. I'm still playing alongside. The market climbs a wall of worry. It continues to go up until it doesn't go up. And simply, seriously, trying to anticipate is the worst way to make money in a market. It's the best way to lose money, I should say, in the market.
Absolutely.
Be real careful. Got to be careful.
All right, Harry, thank you so much for joining us. It's Harry Boxer from thetechtrader.com. If you want more information, go to thetechtrader.com. And, Harry, hope to talk to you next week.
I just wanted to point out that stock we've been talking about for 2 weeks, Copen, is broken out. It looks like it's on its way. It's moved from 305 to 385. And it looks to me it breaks out here at $5 or $6 stock. Okay, that's KOPN for those of you who are interested in following that. Thank you, Harry. Great. Thanks again. We'll talk to you next week. Harry Boxer from thetechtrader.com. And I don't want you touching your dial, folks, because we have our good friend Sinclair No hopefully joining us here for the next segment, possibly for 2 segments. We're trying to get Henry Weingarten on the line, but I think he's off to Hong Kong again for one of his fairly frequent trips, but if we do reach him during the show, then we'll certainly get Henry on the line as well. So here we are looking at the Dow into new highs, risk of an overbought condition, some negative news possibly affecting the market, but I think the trend is your friend, and if there is a little bit of a shake here, it is definitely a buying opportunity for those of you who are not in the market. Recommending jumping into the Dow Industrials right here, or the S&P or the NASDAQ is very difficult from a technical trader's point of view, as extended as we are in the market. So got to watch yourselves here a little bit. If you're in the market and have been in the market, there's nothing that's in my work that says you should exit the market unless your tolerance for pain regarding a 3, 4, 5% correction is just that great. Then, of course, you have to make your own individual decision there. So that's it for this segment, and we're going to hopefully join our good friend Sinclair No after the break. Appreciate you tuning in to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday morning, January 27th.
Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
Does the current world crisis in North Korea or our domestic crisis right here in America concern you? Well, I know it concerns me. My friends over at Legacy Food Storage have solutions in the event there's the inevitable. What's the inevitable? Civil unrest, a run on your local grocery store. And here's my question to you. If this happens, how do you feed your children? How do you feed your grandchildren? Legacy Food Storage has the solutions. In fact, they can help you implement a simple plan to take care of your needs in the event of the inevitable. By calling them right now, I have authorized them to give you a special 20% discount at checkout by simply using GCN. Call 888-543-7345 or visit them at LegacyFoodStorage.com. That's 888-543-7345 or visiting them at LegacyFoodStorage.com. Make sure you use GCN at checkout for an incredible 20% discount. Don't be a victim. Take control of your life now.
Here's a special message for those of you who owe the IRS at least $10,000 or more in back taxes. The IRS has special programs in place that could eliminate or reduce your tax debt by thousands of dollars. Call the Federal Tax Management Helpline that has been set up for you, 800-503-8625. Stop the wage garnishments, levies, and tax liens now. Once you've qualified and enrolled, the IRS will stop all the collection activities against you. These unique programs have been allocated to help the economy and significantly reduce or eliminate your tax burden. The IRS is currently accepting reduced settlements and other favorable programs. You may qualify for substantial savings, so get the help you need. If you owe more than $10,000 in taxes, call for free information and to see if you qualify. Take down the number now for the Federal Tax Management Hotline, 800-503-8625. That's 800-503-8625. 800-503-8625.
People search the internet for everything, including you. With a few clicks, information from your past can be quickly discovered, from business deals gone wrong to misleading reviews, negative articles, and unflattering images. Studies show 78% of people search for someone online before doing business with them. Will they find the real you? With ReputationDefender.com, you can establish a positive internet presence. ReputationDefender.com pioneered the field with over a decade of experience, serving thousands of successful individuals and businesses. We use patented, award-winning systems to boost positive content and suppress negative material. Don't let the internet define you. Take control of your reputation today with ReputationDefender.com. For your quick, free reputation analysis, call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw. Want to know more about Wall Street Raw and the Leibovit VR newsletters? Go to wallstreetrawradio.com.
To Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, January 27th. My good friend Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the incomparable blog etherbankers.com is kind enough to join us once again. Good morning, Sinclair. Thank you again.
Mark, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Oh, we have so much to talk about. Let's start with the GDP reports that came out on Friday.
Right. Fourth quarter GDP came in at 2.6%. Now, this is the first estimate. There are three estimates of GDP. There had been some hope that we would hit the 3% mark. If so, it would have made for the third quarter in a row for the first time since 2005. And this is, of course, the figure that everybody's looking at. Can we get up to 3% GDP growth on an annualized basis? Well, we can't do it for more than 2 quarters at a stretch. The fourth quarter is typically a little bit of a tricky quarter, has been for several years now. The fourth quarter and the first quarter, we've seen a sharp fall off in GDP. And we've been told many times, well, it's the weather. Bad weather hit the numbers and the economy slowed down. But this really wasn't such a bad report. This was really a pretty good report. Consumer spending was up. running at about a 3.8% pace of growth. But the strong areas were business. Business spending increased by 11.4%. Construction, we saw investment in new housing up 11.6%. However, we had a bigger trade deficit. Imports rose some 13.9%, and a lot of that has to do with the higher price of oil that we saw. And reduced inventories shaved almost 2 percentage points off of fourth quarter GDP. There's some underlying growth there if you roll back some of these things, but the actual number is 2.6%. Good, not outstanding, but good.
Well, next week we've got the Fed meeting, the FOMC meeting coming up here, and it's going to be the first meeting under Chairman Jerome Powell. What do you see there?
I see absolutely nothing. It's going to be much like Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is probably the most boring man in Washington.
Okay.
This will be probably one of the most boring FOMC meetings that we see in a long time. Don't expect anything to happen with this first meeting. However, look to March. That's when we're probably going to see the next rate increase from the Federal Reserve. And to that end, as part of the GDP numbers that we got on Friday, that included the PCE index, which is the Fed's preferred measure of inflation. It was running at a 2.8% rate in the fourth quarter. Now, it doesn't mean that we're at a 2.8% inflation rate. It's still under 2% on an annualized basis, but it indicates that there was a pickup in inflation in the fourth quarter. So if the Fed is anticipating that inflation is going to be picking up, there's a big part of the puzzle right there.
Mm-hmm.
It did pick up in the fourth quarter. Not enough for Jerome Powell to come out of the gates with a rate increase. Nobody's expecting that, but look for it in March, and we'll probably see some signs of that in the Fed's statement.
So you want to start slow a little bit, I guess is what you're saying. Don't make any dramatic moves the first time you're sitting in that chairman position. I guess
that's right. One of the things that Yellen became well known for was thoroughly communicating any moves to the markets. Incremental moves, well telegraphed, well communicated. I don't think Powell is going to change that.
Good point. Meanwhile, this past week, we saw Draghi, the European Central Bank, wrapping up their policy meeting, and they did nothing with interest rates over there. What do you think's going on in Europe? Are they going to start changing their tune or stay where they're at?
Draghi remained fairly dovish on interest rates. I don't think that they are ready to be hiking rates. They may move off a little bit of their quantitative easing, but that wouldn't be any big surprise. They're scheduled to move off of it anyway in September. They may actually keep it a little bit longer. What was interesting about Draghi's statements was really how he kind of went back against some of the talk of a weak dollar policy in the U.S., which we heard from Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin in Davos, Switzerland, at the World Economic Forum. Mnuchin was all of a sudden saying, yeah, weak dollar, not a problem, no big deal. Now, the next day, we heard something different from Trump. Something completely different. And part of that probably was the fact that Draghi was really rather upset by it. Basically saying, you want a trade war? You want to get into a currency war with Europe? We're not going to have any of that. We'll see where that all heads. But
yeah, what can he do anyway? Tell me. Well, what kind of currency war could he counter? That's really the question. It's the free markets that are determining where the dollar is, and again the euro. That's really
largely sure. Of course, when you talk about who has the power to do something, I would say it's much more the central bank leaders, such as Draghi or now Powell, who could have some impact on it above and beyond the free markets out there, much more so than, say, Trump or Mnuchin, I would say. I think the central banks really can have some effect, and if Draghi decides that all of a sudden he's going to get a little bit hawkish in his response, that could have some impact. Yeah, but you're right. For the most part, it's the markets that make up which currency is going to be performing well. And I think that also says something about where the U.S. economy is in the global economic picture right now. We think that we've got this really roaring economy here in the U.S., and yeah, it's good. The GDP numbers back that up. But at the same time, the rest of the world is experiencing as good or even better growth in many circumstances. Europe has been doing quite well. Parts of Asia have been doing phenomenally well. Emerging markets have been doing beautifully. You can talk about the S&P 500, which had a great year. You want to look at something even better? Look at the total market index, like the Vanguard Total International ETF. Outperformed the S&P by better than 5 percentage points, I believe it was.
Right. The total stock market index at VTI has been a great performer, too.
Yeah, exactly. So you look around, you see some total market index, some total international markets, MSCI, emerging markets. These are all areas where we have seen even better performance than in the U.S.
Sinclair, let's pick up on that after the break. We're talking to our good friend Sinclair No from KFNN 1510 Phoenix and author of the great blog, EatTheBankers.com. Don't touch your dial. We'll be back after the break here on Wall Street Raw.
Are listening to Wall Street Raw with Mark Leibovit. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for information on Mark's newsletters and products. Stay tuned. Mark will be right back.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. Here, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market tsunami. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required, and no one will call. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw report and Gold News Raw report at wallstreetraw.com.
Every industry faces distinguishing challenges and circumstances that shape the business and financial landscape. Camuso CPA LLC delivers unrivaled depth of knowledge and an engaging experience relevant to each client's industry-specific needs. Camuso offers preemptive guidance and knowledge required to achieve your greatest business and personal financial potential. Our approach is based on forging long-term business relationships accompanied by trust and value, creating an ever-important partnership. Build your dedicated financial team with us today. Visit CamusoCPA.com. That's CamusoCPA.com.
Hawaii was a wake-up call. Don't be caught without a disaster shelter. Atlas makes an all-disaster shelter that will protect your family from fallout, tornadoes, and hurricanes for only $99.99. That also includes the NBC air filtration system, solid steel construction with an airtight, bulletproof door. That's right, for $99.99 and up. Call 1-855-4BUNKER or go to IWantThatShelter.com. Atlas Survival Shelters, the world leader in fallout shelters.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
Message and data rates may apply.
You don't follow the herd. You blaze your own trail. And you're as adventurous in the kitchen as you are in life. Whether it's paddleboard yoga or Peruvian steak, you're the first to try new things. So are we. We're Green Chef, the first USDA-certified organic meal kit delivery service. We offer delicious meal plans for 7 different lifestyles: paleo, gluten-free, keto, vegetarian, vegan, carnivore, and omnivore. Want to be the first of your friends to try Green Chef? Discover our exclusive introductory deal by texting the keyword FUN66 to 543543. We believe that cooking, just like life, should be all about experience and flavor. And by exploring dinner options with Green Chef, you'll try new recipes, techniques, and ingredients for bold, new restaurant-level flavors. It's like enjoying a new cooking class, but in your own home. To experience this culinary adventure, text now and discover our exclusive introductory deal. Text FUN66 to 543543. That's FUN66 to 543543.
Hawaii was a wake-up call. Don't be caught without a disaster shelter. Atlas makes an all-disaster shelter that will protect your family from fallout, tornadoes, and hurricanes for only $99.99. That also includes the NBC air filtration system, solid steel construction with an airtight, bulletproof door. That's right, for $99.99 and up. Call 1-855-4BUNKER or go to IWantThatShelter.com. Atlas Survival Shelters, the world leader in fallout shelters.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
There is no freedom without the law.
Get it? Got it? Good.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw and the final segment with Mark Leibovit. Now, here's the elf himself.
Welcome back to Wall Street Raw on this Saturday, January 27th, and I have our good friend Sinclair No on the line, continuing our Eat the Bankers commentary, and that is a great blog to go to, by the way, eatthebankers.com. Sinclair, we were talking a little bit about the weakness in the dollar and actually recent strength in the euro as well, but the weakness in the dollar is good for us here in the U.S. International companies do well. We shouldn't be complaining.
Well, sure, it can be. Absolutely. A weaker dollar is good for trade, generally speaking. It means that U.S. products sold overseas are cheaper. If they're cheaper, we should be able to sell more of them. It means that when we import, we're paying more for items made overseas. Also, keep in mind that this is something that can be a bit of a problem when it comes to U.S. debt. I mean, we have deficits that we deal with, and this can be a bit of a problem, particularly as those deficits continue to grow. We have more and more debt that pours into the marketplace, and then you combine that with the idea that the administration is looking at the weaker dollar as a way to convince other countries to agree to some new trade terms that may be seen as more favorable to the U.S. I don't think it's a coincidence that the remarks about the weak dollar coming from Treasury Secretary Mnuchin come the same week that Trump signed an executive order imposing some tariffs. Now, this was some very specific tariffs, washing machines and solar panels. This was directed specifically at South Korea and China. Those were the major targets there, if you will. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to kind of get some trade deals done. One way to do that is to threaten a little bit that there will be a weaker dollar, which would, as you say, it would help U.S. sell overseas. It would hurt countries like China and South Korea trying to sell in the U.S. So that's that. But you take it a little bit too far, and all of a sudden maybe you've got China saying, maybe I won't buy any more U.S. debt. Maybe we'll just hold on to what we have in the way of U.S. Treasuries. Maybe we'll even sell some. All of a sudden, then you could see much higher rates on U.S. debt, U.S. Treasury debt, and all of a sudden we've got a bit of a problem servicing that debt, and we see a big slowdown as a result of higher rates. This is a very tricky path, and a lot of what Trump did in Davos was to throw this out and then walk it back, because it did not receive a particularly favorable response from some of our trade partners. So there was all this talk about America first, but then he says, but maybe we'll join TPP, even though it's been a year since he said, no, we're not going to have any part of it. A lot of mixed messages. I think some of it was trial balloon. I think some of it, I'm not sure what it was. Some of it just sounded downright stupid. But some of it maybe just negotiating. Hard to say at this point.
Well, he holds himself out as a negotiator. Maybe that is the great strategy. Throw out something, as you say, stupid, and see where it sticks, right?
Yeah, or see who it scares. That's part of the idea of negotiating. You scare somebody into thinking they need to make a deal. Maybe that's how he's doing it. I'm not sure. But I got to say that, you had Mnuchin and Wilbur Ross, Commerce Secretary, standing there in Davos, one saying weak dollar is good for trade, and then Ross comes back and says weaker dollar is not really so good for trade. And when Mnuchin says a weaker dollar is good for trade, he's talking about how a weaker dollar is good for trade. I don't think that really is what he's saying. It's like, oh, come on. What are they trying to get to here? Sometimes I think we could find smarter cabinets in IKEA.
Great point. So let's move on here a little bit. This is going back a few days. I know the SEC was a little concerned about the safety of Bitcoin-themed investments, and we talk about Bitcoin here quite often. It's been a big mover in both directions. Recently undergoing a bit of a correction, but as you know, just recently, I don't know if it's the last few days or so, we have a Bitcoin ETF that follows the ETF shares, or blockchain shares, I should say, BLCN. So Wall Street is embracing this, and it, becomes self-fulfilling on a certain level, Yeah,
there's going to be something that comes from blockchain. I'm pretty certain of that. The technology is very interesting, holds a lot of promise. Where it actually goes is hard to say. As we finished out the week, Bitcoin futures were slipping. The SEC, the CFTC, they're looking to ramp up some oversight. When and how they actually do that becomes a question. There is a pattern that we've started to see developing out of Korea, out of China, about how they are going to start regulating crypto exchanges, maybe banning initial coin offerings, maybe requiring more proof of funds, things like this. This is going to be a bit of a crackdown on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. But as I say, the underlying technology is going to emerge from any kind of a crackdown. But, at some point, governments are going to want to make sure that this isn't just tax avoidance and money laundering. That they want their share of those things, right?
Right. Well, listen, that sort of leads us into the next story, because governments are going along with the growth in marijuana because of the tax revenues being generated there, and we saw what happened in Colorado and other states. But Vermont became the 9th state and 3rd in the Northeast to legalize recreational marijuana here in the last several days. So the government participates. I think everybody's happy, whether it's Bitcoin or cannabis.
Look, it doesn't make. I've been saying this for years. Criminalization of marijuana for recreational use or for medical use makes absolutely no sense. We regulate and tax tobacco. We regulate and tax alcohol. Why not regulate and tax marijuana, which is arguably less dangerous than tobacco or alcohol? So why not? That just makes sense. And the interesting part in Vermont was this was a state legislature that did it, not through ballot initiative, because Vermont does not have ballot initiative. So this was the first time that we've seen a legislature do it, not going through the initiative process. It's just a matter of time till it pretty much spreads across the country. There may be some states that hold out for a while, but eventually it's going to spread across the country. And Jeff Sessions is going to be stuck in the 1950s, trying to figure out what to do about it. And the rest of the world is going to legalize it. And that's going to be the way it's going to be. Throwing people in jail over this stuff doesn't make any sense. Doesn't work. Costs too much money.
Right. Well, Canada sort of figured it out because they're booming up there. And not only are they, as you probably read, just, expanding within Canada, they're expanding around the world. Canada's become like the global center. From what I've read, many of the companies are making deals with Germany, and have read Italy, and all kinds of other opportunities to. And in a way, we're short selling our own country here, because we could be a base for these type of expansions and operations, but because of Sessions, we're not.
Yeah, but you can see how Canada's gone to hell in a handbasket. Yeah.
Right. Sinclair, thank you for joining us. Sinclair No, KFNN 1510 Phoenix, north of the great blog, eatthebankers.com. Don't touch your dial for Wall Street Raw next week at this time.
Thank you for listening to Wall Street Raw with nationally recognized market timer and previous Wall Street Week Elf, Mark Leibovit. If you missed any of today's show or to get in touch with Mark, please go to wallstreetrawradio.com. Any stocks or investment discussed on Wall Street Raw are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. We first recommend you seek out a licensed financial professional for advice. Go to wallstreetrawradio.com for more information on Mark's newsletters and products.
High-performance investors and traders use superior financial tools to achieve superior returns. You have that tool with Mark Leibovit, nationally renowned top market timer, legendary television Wall Street Week elf, and nightly business report market monitor, who shares with you his unique market tools and commentary at wallstreetraw.com. At wallstreetraw.com, Mark provides you with his latest ideas on how to help build and protect your wealth and help you avoid the next big market crash. Mark has a special free gift for listeners of his Wall Street Raw radio show. Go to wallstreetraw.com and sign up for his free monthly Cannabis Vice News Raw report. While there, go ahead and sign up for his free monthly Gold News Raw report. Both are totally free. No credit card information is required. Sign up today for your free Cannabis Vice News Raw and Gold News Raw reports at wallstreetraw.com. That's wallstreetraw.com.
The answer to being in control of your own healthcare is freedom from insurance. Become part of a group of self-pay patients that come together to share in each other's medical expenses. Individual share amounts begin at $107 a month and $347 for families. Choose from 3 health-sharing programs. Holistic treatments may be eligible for sharing. See guidelines. Discount programs available for dental, vision, and pharmacy. Go to libertyoncall.org. That's libertyoncall.org.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.